In this video, I'm going to be talking about short-chain fatty acids, and how they interact with the A2A receptor on T cells. A2A is the receptor that adenosine binds to suppress the T cells. Adenosine is what tumors secrete or create. So short-chain fatty acids, they are molecules produced by gut bacteria. So they are butyrate, propionate, and acetate. So short-chain fatty acids, they support intestinal barrier and reduce chronic inflammation. But they also support cytotoxic granules such as perforins and granzyme Bs. So that's basically what the immune cells use to promote apoptosis in cancer cells. So apoptosis is a programmed cell death. And so short-chain fatty acids, they also increase IFNY. That's actually what T cells, that they use IFNY to attack cancer cells with. So short-chain fatty acids increases like your T cell army's ability to attack cancer cells and possibly other pathogens. So butyrate can be found in ghee, possibly some nuts and seeds can also help create butyrate. So butyrate, it is a short-chain fatty acid. So it can also promote TREGs. So TREGs, they can actually suppress T cells, but I think certain short-chain fatty acids, as I said earlier, can increase T cell numbers, but butyrate upregulates FOXP3. FOXP3 is the master TREG regulator. So butyrate can protect against autoimmunity. That's where T cells are attacking the healthy body tissue. And if T cells are out of control, that can lead to tissue damage. So TREGs suppress T cells, and butyrate helps with upregulating TREGs. So another thing that shuts off T cells is the A2A adenosine pathway. So it's immunosuppressive. That adenosine secreted by tumors decreases cytotoxic granules, such as a granzyme B and perforins. So the tumor doesn't want to undergo apoptosis and is trying to keep the cancer cell numbers up while at the same time suppressing T cell numbers. So the tumor does that by secreting the adenosine that shuts down the T cells, because the tumors overproduce this via CD39, CD73. Therefore, the A2A signaling is a strong T cell shutoff switch. Okay, histone deacetylases, they actually they shut chromatin. They close them so that genes responsible for the immune system, to upregulate the immune system, those genes are actually shut down, or they can't express. So if the genes can't express because of histone deacetylases, like let's say genes for the immune system, then the immune system will not function correctly. But butyrate is a histone deacetylase inhibitor. So that means that butyrate prevents the histone deacetylase from shutting down the immune system. And butyrate helps this by relaxing chromatin and opening chromatin, because butyrate stops or prevents what is closing down the chromatin, which is the histone deacetylase. That's why butyrate is called a histone deacetylase inhibitor. So another way butyrate is good for the immune system is that it upregulates a mitochondrial biogenesis. That's critical because the mitochondria makes ATP for the immune system. and the immune system needs as much ATP as possible. So butters such as ghee are a great and easy way to provide butyrate for the gut for more mitochondria. Okay, T cells, they also need glycolysis because it's like an high energy mode for T cells. But tumors, they reduce glycolysis in T cells by secreting adenosine. So the adenosine from tumors binds on the A2A receptor on the T cell, and then that reduces glycolysis in the T cells. But butyrate, the SFA butyrate, can actually upregulate or increase a glycolysis in T cells. Another critical benefit of short chain fatty acids and butyrate is that it upregulates the tight junction proteins in the gut, such as occludin, claudin, and zonula or ZO. So those are proteins that are supposed to be tight in the stomach. And if they are not, uh, a lot of transporters for vitamins and minerals will not work, such as a vitamin C transporters, uh, copper transporters. Those those will be dysfunctional if the tight junction proteins in the gut are also loosened or dysfunctional. So if this ends up happening, dysfunctional occludin claudin, the copper gradient regulation at epithelial barriers becomes unstable. That means that it's going to negatively affect or impact copper levels, leading to copper deficiency. Because the epithelial barrier is basically another word for the gut barrier or associated with the gut. Okay, fat soluble vitamins in liver and bile, they require uh, a copper mediated transporter called ATP7B. So bile in the liver is can actually be affected by or is mediated by copper excretion of the ATP7B. But if there is a copper imbalance due to weak tight gut junction proteins occludin claudin, then that will impair the liver function because of the bile. This is why it's important to have a butyrate and short chain fatty acids to keep the tight junction proteins tight and not loose, so that the liver can function correctly thanks to bile levels being correct. So weak tight junction proteins in the gut will impair bile flow as a result of the copper imbalance, therefore leading to reduced absorption of vitamin A, vitamin B, E, and K. So without all of those fat-soluble vitamins, and due to a copper deficiency, the that's going to have a lot of different problems. Like, let's say no vitamin A is going to lead to no intrinsic factor for vitamin B12, because vitamin B12 cannot function without the intrinsic factor, and all because of a copper deficiency. But of course, with a butyrate upregulating the tight junction proteins in the gut, that should lead to the copper helping out the liver with the bile, because the bile uh, or the fat soluble vitamins cannot be absorbed without the bile. So like, share, comment if you want more future videos. Keep it locked in here on my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.